Hi, we're Evan and Jasmine. Our first 6 years of marriage consisted of traveling the world. Then in 2019, we got pregnant and were blessed with a baby boy. Our son is diagnosed with Agenesis of the Corpus Callosum, which means he's developmentally delayed and is taking the scenic route when it comes to meeting his milestones. Follow us as we continue to take the scenic route with our special needs child.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Evan with the Scenic Route, and I'm so excited for this episode. This is going to be a recap of our travels, and we're in a new location right now. We're in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and we were previously in Tucson, Arizona. And for those of you that don't know us, we're actually from Portland, Oregon. So the last 3 months, we've been in 3 different locations now. We had an absolute blast in Tucson, Arizona. We were there to see family. We were my wife's parents, her sister, our 2 nieces. It was amazing being there and to be around family, especially in some nice warmer weather. So before heading back to Portland, we decided that we wanted one more big adventure before we came back, which is where we do all of our work. My wife has a wedding hair and makeup business there in Portland, and it's very hands-on. It's very busy during the summer months, and I help her out with that as well. So before we went back to Portland, we wanted one more big adventure, and we chose Playa del Carmen, Mexico. And we're so excited for this. Can't wait to show you guys around here. It's really, really cool here. But this video is going to be telling you a little bit about how did we actually get here with a child with special needs and a small dog and medications and Elán's food, which weighs more than you can imagine, and all the other complications that go with traveling. One thing I want to say is that we absolutely love the destination. We don't love to travel, and I think that's a common misconception with people that do travel a lot, is that they actually love the act of traveling. We don't, and I don't think many other people do. Airports are horrible, flights are horrible, taxis are horrible, baggage is horrible, waiting, all that kind of good stuff is horrible, and nobody wants to do that kind of stuff. But you know, people that love the destination are willing to sacrifice and do the things it takes to get to that destination. And this has been our biggest adventure thus far with our son, especially because of the needs he has and the things we had to prepare to actually get here successfully. You're gonna see in the next couple clips me on the phone, and you know, over the month of December before we came here, we got here in January, I was on the phone for probably a total of 4 or 5 hours organizing things with insurance. So with insurance, they don't really want to give you your stuff in bulk. They want you to get it monthly. You know, I don't know what protocols are involved with that, but I had to really convince them that we were going to go on a trip for 3 months and that we wanted our supplies for 3 months to go on this trip.
So this is the life of a parent who wants to travel with a special needs kid. So I'm on hold right now with Providence, his insurance company, and we are attempting to get an override on his medication so that we can get a 3-month supply. And now I talked to Providence, and she's on hold with a supervisor, and she said that they can only give a 30-day supply. So as crazy as it might sound, if you're a special needs parent that has medical supplies and medications and you're going out of the country, you basically aren't allowed to unless you can figure out some other way, which tell me what you guys think about that. Isn't that the craziest thing you've ever heard? Is you're basically being told you can't leave because of your son's supplies. They just won't send you enough.
Yeah, it wasn't a nightmare, but it was hard. And the things that we needed was Elán's food bags. So with his machine comes these plastic bags that we change every 24 hours to be sanitary. And so we needed 3 months worth of those. So that's 90 of those bags. And we needed 3 months supply of his food. And so with his food, he recently changed, we showed you to that Kate Farms food, and it's actually a pre-mixed food, which makes it about, I don't know how much times heavier than a powder formula, but maybe 5 times heavier than a powder formula. And so a 3-month supply of his food is hundreds of pounds worth of food. So I wanted to make a quick little video just kind of showing the progress. So you kind of saw me on the phone a little bit with all the insurance companies and whatnots. This is what we got approved. So this whole suitcase, this whole suitcase, and this whole suitcase is going to be all of Elán's food and medical supplies. We got a baggage allowance of 70 pounds per bag. So we're gonna be bringing close to 280 pounds worth of stuff, and probably only 50 of it's gonna be our stuff, or the rest is gonna be for Elán. But you know what they say, once you get to your destination, everything that happened for you to get there kind of disappears, and you just get so excited. And I feel like that's how we are right now. We're in a beautiful location. The ocean is really close to us, and we're just super excited to be here. We were so lucky to have family in Arizona to support us during the last 48 hours before we traveled. Just getting our suitcases at the proper weight, which was actually 70 pounds per bag. And the way we were able to do that is we booked a business class ticket for both of us. And through American Airlines, that included two 70-pound bags for free, which actually made up for the first class ticket price difference, which was only at like $100 or so more than the regular one. So I was pretty lucky on that. But so in total, we had 280 pounds worth of bags, and we have never traveled that heavy before. We always travel light, and that was all due to Elán and his special needs. So early morning flight, we have all our bags packed, and luckily we had my brother-in-law Carlos. He was able to come with us and help us physically unload these bags onto the carts, you know, that they have at the airport, and push it to the check-in counter. All right, guys, we are headed to Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and
We got lots of stuff.
yeah.
Baby's here, the puppy's here.
And the only reason that we're able to do this is because of family. Family is helping
Yeah.
us pack and
They come through.
helping us move. We're gonna show you Carlos in a second here.
Hey, the dream team is here.
Okay, Tucson International Airport. There's Carlos and Jasmine. Carlos is helping us get us our bags to the check-in. Oh my gosh, we're going uphill right now. Once we get to the check-in counter, everything's supposed to go smooth, right? You just give them the bags and you move on. I don't know if this lady was just not in a good mood or what the deal was, but we did not get the best check-in experience at the airport. She originally started giving us problems about the dog. We had the dog in a carrier, and she wasn't happy with the size of the carrier, even though it fit all the airline regulations. And then she asked, okay, well, where's your dog's health certificate? And I go, well, to enter Mexico, you don't need a health certificate. You only need one to return to the United States. And she didn't believe me. And so I had to show her on the official government website where it shows exactly what you need to bring a dog to Mexico. And those are those little things that I did my research, but it was weird. I didn't think I was gonna have to pull out that research or kind of prove something. I thought it was just gonna be a nice, smooth experience to go to check in. But yeah, like I said, the check-in experience was longer than I had anticipated, and it caused a little bit of stress, but again, we made it through that checkpoint. The next really, really stressful part was our flight was from Tucson to Phoenix, and then Phoenix to Cancun. And the gap, or the layover in Phoenix, was 30 minutes, which I thought was really short. And I had never really had a 30-minute layover, and so I didn't quite know what to expect, except for, you know, maybe it's going to be in the same gate or the same area, and it's just going to be super quick, you know, switch planes kind of thing. There was just all these little things that happened that caused some stress. You know, I'm thinking in my head, what if we miss our next flight? They only fly to Cancun once a day. We're gonna have to get all our stuff, and we're gonna have to go to a hotel, check in, do this whole thing all over again tomorrow. And I did have some travel anxiety, to say the least. So we're officially on the flight from Tucson to Phoenix, and we're on the tarmac, you know, getting ready to take off. and there's a delay. You know, it's not a delay like we hadn't even left the gate yet, but we were waiting our turn in line to take off, and it just seemed like the minutes were ticking and ticking and ticking. And so that was the first little bit of anxiety. We get in the air and I go, okay, we're good. I'm thinking about the timing, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna make it. There's gonna be plenty of time to get off and get to the next plane. We land, then there's a delay because there's too many planes in the area where you're supposed to park, you know, at the gates or whatever. And we're sitting there for another 5-10 minutes, and I could tell that actually a lot of people on the plane were getting a lot of anxiety. I don't know if there was a lot of short layovers. So I'm just looking at the timing, and I'm like, man, this is really getting close. We finally park, we get off the plane, and we honestly had about 20 minutes left before the other plane was supposed to physically take off. And so that's, you know, they're gonna close their doors, all that kind of stuff very shortly. And again, it was kind of a long walk. It was a good 5 to 7 minute walk to the next gate. And we get there, they're already boarding, which was fine. And so, you know, the relief is there, we've made it, and we get on. They probably closed the doors 5 minutes after we physically got on. So if you can imagine, you know, if there was any other small delays, 5 minutes here, 2 minutes there, we probably would have missed our flight, and man, that would have been stressful. And it was stressful, but once we got on that flight to Cancun, I'm like, all right, we're good to go. Everything is good. So we're on the flight to Cancun. We do have to feed Elán on this flight, and it went really well. You'll see kind of some of the video I have shot here of getting him hooked up, and it's just so nice to have both of us helping and doing it. Of course, we do it all the time, just one of us, but it's really nice to have an extra hand. And then, of course, the one thing you would expect to happen on a flight is Elán decided to go number 2. All right, guys. I think he pooped on the plane. So, we're gonna try and change him. Wish me luck. And that actually went pretty smooth. I took him to the bathroom, but then I realized it was a pretty bad one. So I needed another outfit change. So I actually asked the stewardess, I was like, hey, can you ask my wife to get the changing bag, or to get him another outfit, you know? So then Jasmine actually came into the bathroom with me, and then we tag teamed that as well, which is kind of funny because we left the dog under the seat, which I don't know if he like made any noise or anything, but yeah, so we tag teamed the changing of the diaper in the smallest airplane bathroom you can imagine, and again, it was successful. We had fun with it. And that kind of reminds me and brings me back to our dog. We have an awesome dog. He's 7 months old. He's, you know, still technically a puppy. And I was gonna give him some type of relaxer or sedative for this flight experience because it was, you know, a couple flights, a layover. It was gonna be a good long day. And he was calm the entire time, and he was relaxed the entire time, all the way till we got to our condo here, which is insane. I've never had a dog before. I don't know all the experiences, but I can imagine he could have been a wild card of adding stress to our trip, and he didn't. He did awesome. And so did Elán. Elán and Harlow both did awesome, which again made everything else that happened less stressful. Because if you have a crying baby and a barking dog, and you only got 5 minutes to get to your next flight and blah, 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 I mean, you can just imagine, right? I mean, that's why people hate to travel, and it's crazy to travel with a dog, with a baby, you know, all this kind of stuff. So we're at our destination, and that's what's most important. Luckily, we didn't have anything too traumatic happen, or I might have a little bit less of a smile on my face right now.
So we made it. We just landed in Mexico, and we're really excited. It was a really good flight overall. Elán did have a poop tsunami, but other than that, everything went great.
And yeah, that's kind of a recap of our travel experience to get here. It did go smooth for the most part, and the preparation was key. It was a lot of preparation to get all of Elán's food, all of his medical supplies. That's a new element to our travels that we've never had to think about before. And so far, it's been so worth it. I'm so glad that we took the risk, that we did all the preparations possible to make this 3 months happen. We could have came here for a shorter amount of time, but then we would just have to travel again to get back to Oregon or get back to somewhere. So to be here for such a long time and just to be able to really decompress and relax, I know is going to be so good for us. And I honestly can't wait to show you guys around some of the food, the beaches. It's amazing here. So I'm excited for those next videos, and so stay tuned. We'll see you then.